The Q2 numbers are in, and they tell one of the strangest stories the American EV market has ever seen. A market that is collapsing and booming at the exact same time. Today on Nick's Car Review, I am counting down the fastest selling EVs in America right now, based on the brand new Q2 sales data that just dropped. Some of these results are going to genuinely surprise you. Let's get into it. Kicking off the list at number 10 is the cheapest new EV in America, the revived Chevrolet Bolt. The Bolt sold 3,433 units in Q2, bringing its year-to-date total to just over 4,200. And honestly, that number is smaller than it should be, but not for the reason you might think. The Bolt's problem right now is not demand, it is supply. GM is running just one active shift at the Fairfax plant in Kansas, where the Bolt is built, which means production is crawling along at a fraction of what the market could absorb. For a vehicle that starts under $29,000 with around 255 miles of range, an LFP battery you can charge to 100% every day, and a native NACS port with direct Tesla supercharger access, there is genuinely nothing else like it at the price. But here is the news that makes this entry bittersweet. Reports indicate Bolt production is scheduled to conclude next year. GM appears to be treating the revived Bolt as a bridge product rather than a long-term player. If that holds true, the window to buy America's cheapest new EV may be shorter than anyone expected. 3,400 units in a quarter is a modest number, but every single one of them found a buyer almost immediately. The Bolt is supply limited, not demand limited, and that alone earns it a spot on this list. Number 9 is the newest vehicle on this entire list, and it is off to a genuinely hot start. The Toyota CHR. This compact electric SUV only went on sale partway through the second quarter, and it still managed to move 3,748 units. That is a remarkable debut for a vehicle that most buyers did not even know existed a few months ago. The CHR is Toyota's second serious EV in America, slotting in below the BZ as a smaller, sportier, more affordable option. It comes standard with all-wheel drive and 338 horsepower, which makes it genuinely quick, 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds. Range comes in around 290 miles. It has a native NACS charging port for Tesla supercharger access, and pricing starts in the mid-$30,000 range. Here's why this launch matters so much. Toyota's total EV sales for the first half of the year are up 90% compared to last year, in a market that is down overall. The CHR arriving strong, right as the BZ established itself, signals that Toyota's slow and steady EV strategy is finally producing real results at exactly the right moment. Nearly 4,000 sales in a partial quarter means the CHR is on pace to potentially crack the top 5 once it gets a full quarter of availability. Keep a close eye on this one. Number 8 is the growth story hiding inside General Motors right now, the Cadillac Optiq. The Optiq sold 4,236 units in Q2, up 43% compared to the same quarter last year. And to understand how impressive that is, you need the context around it. GM's overall EV sales fell roughly 60% year over year in Q2. The Equinox EV dropped 61%. The Blazer EV dropped 68%. The Hummer EV slid 56%. Nearly everything in the GM electric portfolio took a beating, except the Optiq, which grew. The Optiq is Cadillac's entry-level electric SUV, starting at around $51,000, and it has quietly become the volume engine of Cadillac's luxury EV success story. It offers around 300 miles of range, a beautifully finished interior that genuinely competes with the German brands, and available Super Cruise hands-free, driving the same system found in Cadillacs, costing twice as much. Most Optiq buyers are conquest customers coming directly from other luxury brands, which is exactly the kind of growth a legacy luxury automaker dreams about. In a quarter where GM still held on to its number 2 position in the US EV market with around 14% share, actually gaining a full percentage point despite the sales decline, the Optiq is the product doing the heavy lifting on momentum. A luxury EV posting 43% growth in a collapsing market is not a fluke. It is a signal. Number 7 is the 3-row family hauler that just posted one of the strongest rebounds of the entire quarter, the Kia EV9. The EV9 sold 4,295 units in Q2, up more than 44% compared to the first quarter, and up 35% year over year. In a market where most EVs are shrinking, the EV9 is accelerating in both directions at once. The EV9 remains one of the most complete family EVs money can buy. 3 genuine rows of adult usable space, up to around 304 miles of range. The 800-volt eGMP platform with fast charging that gets you from 10 to 80% in under 25 minutes. Bold, distinctive styling that stands out in a school pickup line full of identical crossovers. And Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty backing the whole package. What is driving the rebound? Aggressive pricing and lease deals have made the EV9 dramatically more attainable than its original sticker suggested, and family buyers are responding. Kia's overall US EV sales are actually up year over year, with more than 11,000 units moved so far, even with the smaller EV6 declining. The EV9 is carrying the brand right now, and with the smaller EV3 arriving later this year, Kia's electric lineup is positioned to keep climbing. For 3-row families, this remains one of the smartest EV buys in America, and the Q2 numbers show buyers know it. Number 6 is a car with a complicated quarter, the Chevrolet Equinox EV. It sold 6,660 units in Q2, which keeps it comfortably among the best-selling non-Tesla EVs in America. But that number is down 61% from the same quarter last year, and the story behind that decline matters. A year ago, the Equinox EV was riding the federal tax credit wave, selling at a pace that made it the undisputed affordable EV champion. Then the credit died, and GM made a deliberate choice to cut production across its EV lineup rather than pile up inventory. The Q2 decline reflects those production cuts as much as it reflects softer demand. This was a planned throttle back, not a collapse. And here's the thing, the fundamental value proposition has not changed at all. The Equinox EV still delivers 319 miles of range starting at $33,600. That is still the best range per dollar of any new EV in America. The massive 17.7-inch touchscreen is still one of the largest at any price. GM incentives can still pull effective prices down toward the $25,000 range. In some markets, nearly 7,000 buyers in a single quarter recognized that math. The Equinox EV is no longer the headline grabber it was a year ago, but it remains the value backbone of the affordable EV market and one of the first vehicles any budget-conscious shopper should look at. Number 5 is the last EV standing at Ford, and it is fighting hard in a tough spot. The Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Mach-E sold 7,032 units in Q2, which keeps it firmly in the top 5 best-selling non-Tesla EVs in America. But the trend line is rough. That number is down more than 30% from the previous quarter and over 46% year over year. Ford's overall EV sales fell 57% in Q2, with the discontinued F-150 Lightning selling just over 2,400 units from remaining inventory, and the E-Transit van down 88%. So the Mach-E is essentially holding the entire fort alone. And the reason it still moves 7,000 units a quarter is simple. It remains a genuinely good vehicle. Sharp looks, sporty driving dynamics, up to 320 miles of range. On the extended range version, the famous frunk with the built-in drain plug that doubles as a cooler, and Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving that ranks among the best systems outside of Tesla. Ford has also been backing it with aggressive incentives, which makes the effective transaction price much lower than the sticker. The bigger picture is that Ford is in a waiting period. The Lightning is gone. The next generation affordable EVs, built on Ford's new universal platform, including the $30,000 mid-size electric pickup, do not arrive until next year. Until then, the Mach-E is Ford's entire EV story, an aging product doing respectable numbers in a market that no longer has a tax credit to prop it up. 7,000 buyers a quarter says it is still doing that job better than most. Number 4 is the car that completed one of the most dramatic turnarounds in recent automotive history and is now settling into life as a permanent frontrunner, the Toyota BZ. The BZ sold 7,524 units in Q2, bringing its total to more than 17,500 for the first half of the year. That is down from its explosive first quarter when it briefly became America's best-selling non-Tesla EV. But the bigger picture is what matters. Toyota's total EV sales for the first half of the year are up 90% compared to last year, in a market that is down overall. The formula behind the BZ's success has not changed. Toyota transformed the old BZ4X into a genuinely competitive product, up to 314 miles of range, 150 kilowatt charging in a refreshed interior, and then priced it aggressively at $36,350 before discounts. Stack on up to $7,000 in factory incentives plus 0% APR financing, and the effective price drops below $30,000 for a brand new Toyota electric SUV. In a market starving for value and stability, that combination is exactly what mainstream buyers want, and Toyota is just getting started. The CHR we covered earlier is ramping up. The BZ Woodland variant is trickling into showrooms, and the 3-row Highlander EV plus 2 new Lexus EVs arrive before the end of the year. The brand everyone mocked as the EV laggard is quietly assembling one of the strongest electric lineups in America, and the sales numbers are proving the strategy right, quarter after quarter. Number 3 is the new king of the non-Tesla EV market, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 sold 10,940 units in Q2, up 4% year over year, making it the best-selling non-Tesla EV in America this quarter. It took the crown back from the Toyota BZ, and it did it the hard way, posting genuine growth in a quarter where nearly every competitor declined. 4% growth might not sound dramatic, but context is everything. GM fell 60%, Ford fell 57%. The broader market shrank, and the Ioniq 5 grew with no federal tax credit against a flood of newer competitors. That is what a genuinely complete product looks like in a rational market. The recipe remains untouchable at the price. Hyundai's price cuts brought the Ioniq 5 down to a $35,000 starting point. The 800-volt platform delivers 10 to 80% charging in 18 minutes, still among the fastest in the industry, at any price. Range runs up to 318 miles. The flat floor cabin is one of the most spacious in the segment. A native NACS port gives direct Tesla supercharger access. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. And the 10-year, 100,000-mile battery warranty removes the single biggest fear holding buyers back. Nearly 11,000 buyers in one quarter did the math and reached the same conclusion. The Ioniq 5 is the strongest value proposition in the entire EV market right now, and it is not particularly close. Number 2 is the car that refuses to give up its throne in the electric sedan world, the Tesla Model 3. Tesla does not break out US sales by model until registration data arrives, but the global picture from Q2 tells the story loud and clear. The Model 3 and Model Y together accounted for 467,762 deliveries worldwide, 97% of everything Tesla moved in the quarter. And in the US, the Model 3 remains so far ahead of every other electric sedan that the gap is almost unfair. The big driver right now is the standard trim, which brought the entry price down to $36,990 with 321 miles of range. That pricing puts a Tesla sedan within reach of mainstream buyers who were previously shopping the Ioniq 6 or holding onto gas cars. Add the supercharger network, over-the-air updates, standard autopilot, and the durable LFP battery on the base car, and the Model 3 remains the default answer when an American buyer decides they want an electric sedan. There's also a global signal worth noting. The Model 3 has been posting strong growth internationally, up nearly 30% year over year in some major markets. After a rough start to the year, the sedan bounced back hard. In a market where nearly every competitor sedan has been discontinued or delayed, the Model 3 is not just winning its segment. At this point, it practically is the segment. And here we are at number 1, and it is not even a conversation. The Tesla Model Y. Tesla just reported 480,126 global deliveries in Q2. Its best second quarter in company history. That beat Wall Street expectations by more than 74,000 vehicles and marked Tesla's first double-digit year-over-year growth in 2.5 years, up 25% from last year, up 34% from the previous quarter. And the Model Y is the engine behind nearly all of it. The refreshed Model Y continues to be the best-selling EV in America by a margin that makes every other vehicle on this list look small. In the first quarter, 1 out of every 3 EVs sold in this country was a Model Y, and the Q2 momentum suggests that dominance is holding or growing. Gas prices above $4 a gallon are pushing buyers toward electric, and when mainstream Americans go looking for their first EV, the Model Y is where most of them land. Starting under $40,000 with up to 357 miles of range, the supercharger network, and continuous over-the-air improvements, it remains the default choice of the entire market, and Tesla just made the Model Y story even bigger. The brand new Model YL has officially launched in America, a stretched 6-seat version with a longer wheelbase, real third-row space, power folding captain's chairs, 325 miles of range, and 89 cubic feet of cargo. The launch series starts at $61,990 and includes a year of full self-driving, supercharging, and premium connectivity, with deliveries beginning later this year. With the Model X discontinued, the YL fills the family size gap in Tesla's lineup, and it gives the best-selling EV in America yet another way to win. The Model Y is not slowing down, it is multiplying. Before the takeaway, a few results deserve a shout out. The Hyundai Ioniq 9 posted the biggest percentage jump of the entire quarter, up 183%, with 2,868 units. As families discover the 3-row flagship, the Lexus RZ doubled its sales in the first half of the year and moved over 1,000 units in a single month. Rivian delivered 12,194 vehicles, up 14%, beat its own guidance, and raised its full-year outlook as R2 deliveries ramp up. Lucid grew 19% year over year, even in the middle of a leadership shakeup. And the Nissan Leaf deserves a special mention. Its tiny numbers are purely a supply problem, with import limits and battery shortages restricting one of the best value EVs in America to a trickle. Demand is there. The cars are not. So what is the real story of Q2? The market is splitting in two. The headline numbers look brutal. GM down 60%, Ford down 57%, entire brands posting minimal sales. But underneath, the winners are pulling away. Tesla just had its best second quarter ever. Toyota's EV sales are up 90% this year. The Ioniq 5 grew in a shrinking market. The Optiq, the EV9, and the Ioniq 9 all posted real gains. The pattern is unmistakable. The EVs that hit the right price, deliver real range, and come from brands buyers trust are thriving without any government help at all. The rest are being left behind. And with gas above $4 a gallon, pushing more shoppers toward electric every week, the brands with the right products at the right prices are about to get even stronger. I am Nick, this has been Nick's Car Review, and I will see you in the next one.